Have you ever wondered how I make my videos? If you have, you're in luck, because seeing as I have just hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, I'm going to take you behind the scenes of one of my IGNITORSMP episodes and show you how I make my videos every step of the way. So most of my videos don't usually start on the actual server, so we're gonna actually disconnect and hop into one of my single player worlds. So here I am in my creative testing and designing world, and you can see there is a lot of stuff everywhere. Oh my goodness, there's so much stuff. We have Stardust, a copy of Stardust in creative here. We have these bits for schematics or something that I did. I am planning some more Stardust bits over here, and you can see all the other things for Stardust I have used in this section here. But we'll get back to this area later on in the video. You'll see a bit why. But yeah, this is where I plan everything from redstone to builds to other things. But if we head back in this direction, we see this, which is a section of Jay's base, and this is what I will be building in the episode that I am, doing this behind the scenes for, and that will be episode 40. And this is where what I decided to do for this build here is to lean in heavily into the stuff that I do in my videos and my character on the server. And so what is more iconic to me than my intro music and gamble? Chance games. So yeah, this is what I'm going to be building in the episode. This is recorded before the episode is recorded, so I'll be referring to everything in future tense. But yeah, this is the planning of all the redstone. I did this redstone quite a while ago now. I've changed a few things recently, but I planned this quite a while ago, never got around to building it, but now we're here. So then what I do once I finish designing the build is I grab a stick and use the Lightmatica mod. Right here you can see I have a little menu in the bottom left corner, and then I can select this area that I want to take a schematic of. And then Control-Alt-S will save the schematic, and I will go and save this into Igniter build GGJ cubes corner, just like that. And I save the schematic, and now if I hop back onto the server, all I need to do is grab a stick just like that and head over to Jay's base. So yeah, as you can see, we're now here at Jay's base, and if we just go ahead and load up that schematic that we just made down, where is it? It should be here. GGJ cube corner, load schematic. I go to my loaded schematic, create a placement. I'm gonna have to turn my shaders off because shaders mess with the schematic, the Lightmatica mod here. Whoops, let me just undo that. And if I go down here and to the bottom menu here and select schematic placement, I can now move this schematic around to where I want it to be, and bring it down to the correct position, and just like that we have the schematic in place. So as you can see, we have this hologram basically of what we are supposed to build here, and if I hit M and L, you can see we also get this fancy material list, and this is all the materials I need to gather. And if I hit this button up here, you can see the material list pops up in the bottom right corner here. And now all I need to do is head back to my base and follow this material guide to get all the right materials for the build. About an hour later, we have all the materials. Look at these. Lots of orange blocks and banners and cool stuff and other redstone-y bit as well. Very exciting because this has been a while in the making, and I think this is going to be a pretty funny build. So, and I just need to wait for this rain to go away, and then I will be ready to record the intro. And there we go, just a couple of minutes later, the sun has come out, the rain has cleared, and we're ready to record an intro. But I don't know if I mentioned this yet actually. I use OBS Studio to record my videos. And I also use it to stream. along with the Stream Elements multi-streaming plugin that I use to stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. So yeah, for anyone wondering, those are the things. I'll leave them in the description. But anyway, back to the intro. Let's why don't we go ahead and record the intro right now. Welcome back to the IGNITORSMP, and as you can see, we are in. And why don't we waste no more time and jump straight into a time lapse. So there you go. Intro has been recorded, and now what we do here is we use Flashback to record our time lapses, which is a mod that, you know, records time lapses, and among other things, it's basically a recording tool for Minecraft in-game. So we're gonna start Flashback. I'll show you how we turn it into a time lapse later, but we need to turn shaders off, as I said, because the Lightmatica mod does not like our shaders. So here's our schematic for our build here, and we're just going to move it to the bottom layer, and we're going to need to take out some of these bits because it, as you know, extends out in a square. So yeah, I mean, nothing else to it. So in the Lightmatica mod allows us to render one layer of the build at a time, and I can toggle them using a key I set up on my keyboard. So yeah, I mean, then what I just do is follow this and just place the blocks. Not much else to it, really. So yeah, let's just go do that, and I'll come back and show you how we render the time lapse. So yeah, I'm gonna go quickly record this time lapse, and I'll be back. Yeah, now the build is done. As you can see behind me, everything is completed, and it is now time to record the introduction to the build, sort of, I guess, or the showcase of the build. So I would go in and talk about it as I usually do. Not only that, but also I have actually recorded a bit with Jay, showing it to him. So I'm going to have to, for this case specifically, record a bit before showcasing the build, and then after as an outro to the video. So why don't we go do that right now? So there you go, it is all done just like that. Yeah, I mean, that's about it. If you enjoyed, subscribe, comment what you think of that build that we did this episode, and I'll see you in the next one. So yeah, there you go. All the recording for the episode is now done. So now we need to go and render out some flashback files, like the replay, or the the what's it called, the time lapse we just recorded, as well as our intro and outro. So let's go do that. Okay, so here we are in the main menu. If we click this button right here, this is where all the replays that Flashback records are saved. Now, there's all these ones down here are blurred out, probably because there are some spoilers to specific Stardust stuff, so I'm gonna have to blur those out, but we're focusing on this one right here. This is the time lapse I've recorded for the build we just did. So if we load this up, we can see we are here, just like that. So I have set my FOV to 30 to get the best, to get the most concentrated shots. If you see, if we set the higher we set our FOV, the less focused a shot can be. You can see more stuff. So if we take a look at this one single fish, as you can see, it's you have to get really close to the fish to get just the fish, and then again you still get a lot of this background stuff pretty prominently. But if we go ahead and turn our FOV way down, we can now be a bit further from the fish, and you can see I don't see as much. So the things I do want to look at, for example this fish, would be much more focused, and you'll concentrate on this fish more. So that's just a pretty cool trick. If you want to take screenshots, it works as well. You just turn your FOV all the way down and you get much more focused shot. But anyway, for my intro, I'm just gonna take this time-lapse replay that I have already, and I want my first intro shot to be from above, zooming into the place I'm about to build. So about around here, like that. I'm going to zoom a bit more out, actually, I think. Get it all the way out. And I'm going to add a camera keyframe thing. I'm going to add that there. That will set my camera to that position at that time. Then if I zoom in, just like that, I can skip forward 10 seconds, which will be hard when I'm so zoomed out. But if I zoom all the way in, just like that, we can skip to 10 seconds or 200 ticks, as you can see down here. Oh, it's probably really small. I apologize to any people watching on the small screen. It's probably going to be almost invisible there, or the text probably almost unreadable. But anyway, we're gonna add another one there, and if we also then add a in and out, just like that, we can set the video to only render between these blue highlights here. And if I play it out, you can see we can see it play. Pretty cool. Now this is again my intro shot, so once I bring it into my editing software, I'll then time it up with the music. I'll show you that in a second. But we're gonna export this video, we're gonna add it to the queue, we're gonna name it in1, or stands for intro 1, and then we're gonna save it wherever we want to save it. And then if we go into export queue, you can see that it is queued up, and then we can go ahead and film however many more shots here we want, queue them all up, and then render them all at the same time. And I don't know if I explained, but Flashback basically takes Minecraft footage or Minecraft gameplay and renders them out in videos. So that's pretty cool. You have a whole bunch more settings here. You can mess around to do other cool stuff, like set the time, which I have set to 6000 to keep it noon at all times to get the best lighting. But yeah, I'm going to then repeat that process for all the intro shots, the time lapse, as well as the outro shot. And then I can go ahead and click start all, and it'll render them all out as videos in the location I saved them to. So I'm going to just go do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so the next step is obviously to do the video editing. And here we are in Premiere Pro. Adobe Premiere Pro is what I use, the software I use to do my video editing. Now, Adobe Premiere Pro costs a lot. I think it's like $60 a month or something like that, $60 a month, something stupid like that. But my school provides it. So for the next year, or just under a year, maybe half a year, I'll be using Premiere Pro. Then I'll be switching over to some other software once I finish school, and they stop providing it. So just for now, I'm using Premiere Pro, which is the best video editing software. It is expensive though, so if you have the money, go for it. But DaVinci Resolve is another very good software to use that is 100%, well, not 100% free. Their free version is incredibly good, I've heard. So yeah, we are in the Premiere Pro, and as you can see, I have some files here that I've already got for other videos. I've got my music folder, which is full of music and other essential bits that I use for the episode, and also I have this template here that I keep on every single Igniter video, so that has all the stuff that I usually have. So as you can see, we have a music track down here, we have 2 more audio tracks for my game audio and my microphone, and then I have a bunch of space for videos up here. Now this is my intro. This is what you want to be paying attention to. This one specifically is the logo animation you can see up here, and these bits down here, these are just transparent videos. They're just there, so I have a nice template to cut to. You'll see in a second what I mean by that. But we're going to go ahead, and you can't see this, I don't think, but I have saved all my replay files right here. Just like that, you can see there's my intros, there's my outro, and that is my time lapse that I have rendered out. But as well as that, I'm going to go and see if I can find my recordings, just like that. So these are the 3 recordings I have got for this video. This one is of course the intro. This one is of Jay, me meeting up with Jay to show him the thing. And this one is the outro. So that's those 3 recordings, and we're going to start with the intro. I'm going to run you through everything I do for the intro, then I'm going to kind of gloss over the rest of it, because it does take a while, so I'm not going to make it too boring, but I think you'll understand what I mean by the intro, approximately what I do by the time I finish my intro. So yeah, the intro here, in 1, in 2, in 3, and in 4 I've selected. I'm going to drag those onto the timeline here. And as you can see, if I zoom in, here is the video rendered out. And I'm going to move that one out of the way so I can move it over. I'm going to align this video. So remember, this is the actual video that you're watching. So if I hide it, you won't be able to see it. But this is the actual video. This up here you can't see it. So even if I hide it, it doesn't do anything. This is just so I have a little template to cut to. As you can see, if I use the razor tool to cut the video, you can see it snaps to the one above it, just so I have the right timing, and I have to figure out the timing every single time. But I can go ahead and cut this, and then I'm going to cut at the end. I have a sort of a weird process for this. I cut at the end. This is going to be the last clip, and this is going to be the first clip. Then I cut twice in between, approximately at thirds. Doesn't really need to be perfect. And that that means it plays this first bit, it skips that second clip there. I'm going to cover it over, and it plays the second one. Then I'm going to drag this one over, cover half of the second one, as you can see. Then I'm going to align it to that second line there, and then delete this extra bit at the end. Then I'm going to drag this down, and then bring this over, and then align this one to the end and drag it to fit the size. So that's a bit of a weird process, but as you can see, it creates this nice in time with music sort of thing. Hang on, you can't hear it. You should be able to hear it now. There we go. So that's how I do that. But if we to make it make more sense, I'm gonna do this one in a more intuitive way. So I cut at the start here. That's the first clip. Then I'm gonna choose approximately about that much into the clip. I'm gonna drag it, and that's basically what essentially I'm doing is deleting this one and then dragging it over so that it jump cuts from this a bit further in the video, and then I'm going to do it again for here. So as you can see, that's lined up just like that in time with the music. I'm going to guesstimate a spot right over here, drag it in, I'm going to click again, and I'm going to guesstimate there, and then I can fit it all into the space there. So as you can see, it perfectly lines up with this template I have above, and it creates this fancy music jump cut effect. I'm not sure what it's called. I'm sure it's got some sort of name. But that's how I create my intros. It's actually incredibly simple. It's basically just jump cutting the video over and over again. So if I go ahead and finish these last two, cut at the start, cut at the end, cuts approximately a third of the way through. And I'm going to drag it to fit the time here, just like that. And that one at the end, and drag it to close. There we go. There we go, that's pretty cool. Now, just for this intro, actually, I might swap two things around. So I'm going to actually move this intro 2 behind intro 3, because I think intro 3 includes this little J, which gives sort of an idea that it's J's base that we're in. So that just sort of establishes the video a bit more, and I'm just gonna adjust this one to fit in this template just like that. There we go. And I'm going to do the same with this one. I'm going to move it into where the third intro used to be, and I'm going to drag bits around to try to fit it into the template that I've got here. Just like that. And now we have 3 of the intros done, and now I'm going to scroll back and look for this 4th one right there and paste it over here just like that. And if I skip back, I can do the same thing again. Cut at the start, cut at the end, cuts sort of in the thirds in the middle, and I'm going to drag them in to fit the section it's got here. And now if we watch the whole thing back, we can see it's my intro done. There we go, look at that. That is how I do my intros. Now, the next step is obviously to add me into the video. So I'm going to look for the recording that I did for my intro here. This is the recording. This includes the recording of this behind the scenes video I'm doing. Before I start, as you can see. But so anyway, back to the intro. Why don't we go ahead and record the intro right now. Yep, I'm gonna just quickly find. Welcome back to the IgnitorSMP. Just like that. That's the start of the intro, and I'm going to cut it all down to just that. So now I'm gonna find the actual bit, because I remember I retook this bit quite a few times. Welcome back to the IgnitorSMP. I believe that was it actually. Maybe I didn't re-record it multiple times. I mean, but there. So that is the start. Welcome back to the. So that's my intro right there. I'm going to move it back so it's not so far into the music. Drag it like that, and I'm gonna also increase the volume by 8. I just do this every time just to make my voice a bit louder in the video. Welcome back to the IgnitorSMP. We have the 39 from the last episode. I'm gonna get rid of that. Welcome back to the IgnitorSMP. This is Jay's base. There we go. And then what I do is just go through cutting out the bits that I don't want, where I mess up, where I take a big break between saying lines for some reason, or if I just want to change something. And then yeah, I'm just gonna quickly do that, and I'll be right back. We're in right now. So there we go. It is done, and if we play the whole thing back, you can watch my entire intro. And just like that, that is my intro. So now what I'm gonna do is just cut. I can start adding my time lapse in, add some music for the time lapse, probably. Then yeah, it's basically a pretty repetitive task of just putting bits of the video in, cutting it up, putting more bits of the video in until I finish the video. One thing I do want to say though, is what music I use, because I've actually got quite a few people asking what music I use for my intro music specifically. So the intro music I use is called Playtime by Andrew Rossi, and it is available on all sorts of different platforms, but the one I use is Upbeat. It is a premium song, so that means you'd have to pay for it, but in my opinion Upbeat is one of the better ones. At least it's much cheaper than I don't remember the one everybody else uses, but it's much cheaper than the main one all content creators uses. It's got plenty of songs, more than you'll ever need, and it's also just released a new feature called motion graphics. Now if this sounds like an ad, maybe it is, because I do have an affiliate link, so if you want to check it out, go check it out through my affiliate link in the description. And if you are going to sign up, definitely sign up using that link as well. There is a free plan as well, by the way. It is still brilliant. You still get a bunch of songs, so definitely still go check them out, even if you're not going to spend any money. Yeah, that's my intro song. My outro song, you might have heard, is this. This song is called Tiny Tumble, as you can see from this little menu over here. It's also available on Upbeat. I get most of my video musics from Upbeat, so definitely go check them out. And remember, affiliate link in the description. Anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and edit the rest of this video, and you can enjoy a time lapse of me editing the video. And there we have it. The entire episode is complete. Now if you know a little bit about editing, this is actually not that complicated. There's barely any extra layers. There's one extra thing with a bit of text there. But, I mean, most of it is just cutting out the bits that I don't want to include. Which is not that complicated. So now the video is done, I can start rendering this video, and it should come out as a video that we can then upload to YouTube. Okay, so while the video is being rendered, I thought, let's go make a thumbnail. And here we are in my creative testing world once again. And this is the place where I make almost all my thumbnails. Yeah, I'm going to show you how I do it, because I know many of you are probably wondering. Now, I already have an idea for this thumbnail, and it's basically, it's going to be Jay looking at this gift, mining into this gift with TNT inside. Because, you know, he wanted this thing in his base, and it may not be exactly what he envisioned. So yeah, I think that's a pretty funny idea for a gift. We're going to go with concrete powder, because it's this nice, softer, vibrant red. If we go with concrete, that's a bit, I don't know how it looks in shaded actually. What do you think? Yeah, this one's a little bit lighter, and it's got a little bit texture, which I quite like. So we're gonna go with concrete powder for this gift. So we are going to do that. Let's see, we want it to be a 3x3 maybe. That seems like a good size. And we want to be able to see inside of it, so we're gonna just make it like this. Grab a TNT like this, powder at the top. Oh, we might want to make the gift a different color. Okay, never mind. I have a completely different idea. So, what we're gonna do is, if you've seen one of my other thumbnails, I'll throw it on screen. It's like a half TNT, it's half tough block, half diamond block. I want to do that, but with half TNT, half diamonds. So, what I'm gonna do is have Jay over here pretending to mine this block, and then the TNT is cut in half, and it's actually... he sees a diamond on this side, but this side is a TNT block. I think that would be pretty cool to have. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to summon in an NPC. So right here, I think 1 block away seems fine. Maybe a bit closer. Something like that. And obviously he will be mining the block. Yeah, I think that looks good. So I have this mod called the carpet mod, and it allows you to summon in some players. So /player GGJ spawn at my coordinates. Of course, I want it to be centered on the block, just like that. And we're gonna put him really high up in the air so we have time to get out of the way before he falls down. There we go. Okay, now we need him to look up. How do we do that? We want him to look. Which direction is this? That is east. So we want him to look east. And then... actually, we need him to look slightly down. Right. That will be a bit more complicated. There we go. I think that is good. I'm going to give him a pickaxe. I don't know if I can just throw it to him. Let's go with a blue diamond pickaxe. Can I just throw it to him? I can. Perfect. And then I want the first shot to be of a diamond block. And I will be over here taking the screenshot. Actually, no, we will be using the flashback mod like we used for the time lapses before. So we're gonna start recording. I'm gonna do /player GGJ attack continuous. There we go. Okay. Wait, no, he needs to be in survival. Right. So let me try that again. So /game mode survival GGJ. So we're going to give him a mining fatigue 2. And we should be able to do that. There we go. And then stop his attack. He has broken those 2 blocks, but that's fine. And then we should be able to go into the flashback later on and take the screenshot. But for now, we will actually replace that with a TNT block. And then that should be enough. We finish recording. We'll just save it as that. We're going to delete it in a second anyway. We're going to open up the replay. And now we have this little guy. So we want to first hide me. I want to hide during export. There we go. We're going to turn off name tags. Not the most convenient that I am right in the way here, but we can still make do. We will go like that. That looks like a pretty good angle to go from. Just right there. We will set our camera just so we don't forget where that is. We're not going to be using the timeline because it's just a screenshot. But we do need to find the right place. Just like that. Like that. Maybe we need to go from over here to see his face a bit better. How do we do this? Can go this way, but then there's nothing behind him, which I don't like. Right, maybe we have to go back in and turn everything and do it again. Okay, I have gone and done the whole thing again, making him face this way, of course. I think that's a good spot right there. Looks like he's mining it. We might skip forward to there, just so that the block is a little bit more broken. Okay, set the FOV. We need to find a good spot here. We're going to override the time here, see if we can get a better lighting, because the reflection is crazy. So maybe we'll make it nighttime. and then we'll turn on night vision. That might give us a better shot. No, I think there's good. Okay, it's still bright enough, and we still should be able to get the shot here. We might even, here's a trick with flashback, you can go into the game and actually place blocks. So we can add a light block there, and we're going to add a light block at Jay's feet to make him brighter. We might actually also add one above, make his head brighter. Okay, and then we switch back, and now we get this cool shot. And we can also, what we can do here is also add a center guide, which will help us line him up with the middle of the screen right there. I think that looks about right. There we go. And we should be able to then add this keyframe just so we don't mess up the camera angle. We might move back a bit just so we have a bit more adjustments we can do in the edit in Photoshop. And then we can go ahead and take the screenshot just like that. Actually, let's move back a little more. Delete that, add that. There we go, that's a nice screenshot right there. And then we can move it over to the TNT just like that. And then we should be able to just screenshot that as well. Just like that. Now we have the two screenshots. We can open them up in the screenshots folder. Just like that. And if we take them over into Photoshop, here you can see what my last thumbnail that I was making, but we can delete that. We don't need that anymore. This group is just of my essential bits. But there we go. We have Jay in our thumbnail in Photoshop. We're going to take the other screenshot as well and put it here. Let's try to center it up nicely so we can see both. Okay, right, it is slightly different positions. That should be better. There we go. Now we have the two screenshots of him in the exact same position with the TNT. Now we probably want to take another screenshot because this TNT text is not visible. Okay, after a little bit of finessing, we managed to get the good screenshots. Here we go. Look at that, toggling between the two. Yeah, this process does require quite a bit of trial and error, but we got it in the end. So here we have the two screenshots. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to cut out the section on the TNT one that we want to keep, and you know, keep it. So what we want is like I kind of want like a line that goes across like that, revealing the TNT underneath. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do exactly that. We're going to try to get a nice line here that cuts across. We're going to go a bit lower like that. I think that's pretty good. We're going to do that and then just select the whole thing. We're going to cut it out. There we go. It has been cut out. We just position it back in the correct position and we can delete the rest. And now we have this. And what we're going to do to separate this is actually let's delete the sides first. So if we go ahead and select everything up to there. So if we just get rid of all the excess bits of that right now, we can select all that, delete it just like that. We have now deleted that. And if we do the same to the other side, delete all the excess bits that we selected along with it. We just go ahead and I think that should be all of it, and just delete that. And now, okay, we missed some. Let's make this a bit bigger so we can more effectively clean that out. Just like that, we should have a pretty good thing there. Right, now what we can do, a pretty easy way I kind of want to do this just to be lazy, is to duplicate that so we now have two layers. We're going to move one of them up a little bit. And we're going to do a thing where we color overlay it to white. And just completely, just normal will do. We're going to move them into the correct position. And now there's a line between them, just like that. We're going to also give this TNT, the top one, a bit of an outer glow. Let's just make it white. And we'll make it a bit more obvious. Like that, make it look like it's actually glowing. And that should be good. We're going to make this a little bit bright. We're going to make everything a little bit brighter, but I want to make this TNT a little bit brighter by itself first. I'm going to give it a bit of contrast as well. Never hurt to have a bit of brightness and contrast. Just like that. And then we can select everything all together. We'll group everything together. We're going to position it nicely on the screen, so we're going to zoom out a little here, like that. Boom, and now we have this. Now I'm not 100% liking this framing. It's not covering enough of the screen. Okay, after a lot of tweaking, it was a lot of trial and error basically. I didn't want to show all that, but I managed to get this shot here. I decided to simplify it. No J anymore. Just the TNT block because I couldn't get it all in frame nicely. So now that we have this TNT block, we can actually go and do some adjustments to this image. So first I will be selecting just the background because I want to make the background a bit darker. I'm going to just select the block here, just like that. See how much of it we can get. Doesn't need to be perfect because I will be smoothing out the edges of this selection in a second. Something like that. There we go. We're going to expand it slightly. So expand by, let's say 5 pixels. There we go. And then we'll go feather by 3, just like that. And now it's got a soft edge, and that means if I go and invert, now that means if I go and copy and paste this, we now have got 2 layers, as you can see. And we're going to select the background layer and then make it darker, just like that. Maybe to about, doesn't need to be a whole lot darker, just a little bit. You know, in fact, we're going to actually go back. And we're going to feather it more. We are going to expand by another 5 and feather it by 8, just like that. Now copy that. Now we have a background. And we go turn the background down like that. We're going to leave the contrast actually. We're just going to turn the brightness down a little. And we can even go ahead and brush and use the brush here and make certain places lighter so that this transition you can see there isn't as harsh. As you can see, I'm just spamming the brush around a little bit, making it a little bit brighter on the edges around here. There we go. I think that's about right. That it might be a bit harsh over here. Let me just let's go back to black, darken it a little bit as well. Okay, there we go. I think that is good. And now what we can do is actually adjust this. No, we will actually combine them. So we'll merge layers, and then we can make this brighter or more contrasty. I think is the one we want. Yeah, the TNT looks a bit more evil this way. We'll make it brighter, just slightly brighter. We'll turn it down a bit. Okay, and then we can also go and adjust some saturations. So we can make the saturation higher, just like that. And the cyan, ooh, we can go like a little, that kind of looks cool actually. Turn down the vibrance a little. I like that actually. Let's go with that. Maybe that's a little too low. I think that's cool. Anyway, now we can actually add the Igniter logo. So I have that down here. There is the Igniter logo. And we're going to take it to the top here. And we're going to unhide it just like that. And now we should have the logo there. We're also going to unhide the with Cubecly bit because we need that. We can make it slightly bigger and move it into the right spot just like that. I think that should be about right. I think that looks really cool. Yeah, there you go. Finally, we're just going to apply a little bit of a vignette. So for the vignette here, where is it? It's in effects. And we're going to make it, give it a little bit of a vignette, not too much, just a tiny bit. We are going to head and actually make it probably more saturated because the red is a bit dull. Just so the TNT stands out that little bit extra. Look at that. Just like that. Now finally I think we need a little bit of a darker thing here. We're just gonna maybe make it a bit more visible like that. We're just gonna give the igniter there a little bit more of a darker bit, just like that. Now we have the focus really on the TNT right here, and I think that looks really cool. If we zoom out a bit to get a better look at it, because it's a lot easier to look at it when it's zoomed out, I think that looks really cool. Okay, there we go. Now we just need to export it into the folder that we want. Actually, one last thing, we're going to give it a little bit of a grain, just like that, so it's a bit grainy, because that is sort of the style we're going for. That kind of awkward, maybe a bit off-putting. Just like that, we have done it. Okay, so I'm going to quickly open up these, and you can take a look. Look at that, we have the thumbnail. I'm actually going to thumbnail test these two, one with the grain and the other one without the grain, and see which one looks better. Take a guess which one you think will do better down in the comments. Finally, the last step is to upload the video. So let's go ahead and start uploading this episode to YouTube. There we go. Episode 40 going on, uploading right now, and while it's uploading we can edit these. So I want to make a title for this. And I've actually already thought of a title for this video, and that is Careful What You Wish For. I think that's a pretty cool title because, you know, Jay wanted me to build something, and it wasn't exactly what he intended, let's just say. Anyway, this is episode 40, and not 49, and I'd like to write a little description of what happens in the video. So there you go. GGJ asked for help in his base, but didn't quite get what he expected. I think that's a pretty cool description there. And we're going to add tags here, hashtag. I think the only one we really need to add is hashtag prank, because I guess that is a prank, right? I think that's a prank. Anyway, we'll go ahead and actually upload the thumbnail here. I'm going to do that. I'm going to select the playlist that we want it to be in, obviously the IGNITORSMP. We're going to also upload the other thumbnail as well, so we can thumbnail test. So this is the one with grain, you can slightly see it, this is the one without. We'll see which one does better. And just a few more things and we should be done. So adding an end screen, we're going to import it from our last IGNITORSMP episode, which was quite a while ago actually. That's not it. Import from video, we're going to go back to this one. That's not the last IGNITORSMP episode, but that's fine. So let's see. Anyway, that'll be it. There we go. Look at that. There's our end screen, just like normal. We'll save that, and I think we are good to go. So once this is done uploading in 35 minutes, it will be uploaded. So there we go. Episode 40. And all I need to do now is click publish. And so there you go. That is episode 40 behind the scenes. I really hope you enjoyed this video. This one was quite a bit harder to put together, as you can probably imagine. And I hope you learned something along the way as well. So yeah, that was my entire process of making a video. I hope it helped you a little bit along the way, and I hope you enjoyed. I really do, because if it weren't for you enjoying my videos, we wouldn't be here where we are now. 1,000 subscribers, thank you very much. Thank you to everyone on screen. I'm going to put a list of every public subscriber on screen right now. This is only the people who've turned subscribers on public, so if you're not here, you don't have subscribers on public, but I thank you as well, every single one of you. The journey to 1,000 subscribers has been amazing. Oh, I'm also doing a 1,000 subscriber Q&A video or stream, depending on which one ends up happening. So if you have any questions about anything I do that's appropriate, obviously, leave them in the comments, and I'll try to answer as many of them as I can. Anyway, that'll be it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.